Well, newly released travel data suggests Canadians are still staying away from the U.S., with Donald Trump's trade war leaving many of them making alternative travel plans.
Is that Canadians are not visiting the United States as often as they used to. So this latest report from Statistics Canada released this morning says that the number of return trips among Canadians traveling to the U.S. in October dropped by nearly 24% for air travel and then more than 30% for land travel.
Inbound international tourism is not simply a nice to have for the U.S. economy. It's a meaningful export of services, it's a driver of jobs, and a contributor to the trade balance.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars. Some are saying that could signal trouble ahead.
Las Vegas, the city of neon lights, jackpots, and endless entertainment, has always been a symbol of bold ambition and reinvention. Tourists flock here for the spectacle, the shows, and the promise of glamour that never sleeps. But in 2025, a shadow is falling over the Strip, and it comes in the form of a tower that was once the crown jewel of Las Vegas ambition, the Strat. For years, it stood tall, a defining feature of the skyline, a destination for travelers seeking thrills and high views. Now, it's quietly slipping into decline, a warning sign of what happens when a city built on perpetual reinvention leaves a landmark behind. The question on everyone's mind, is this just a temporary downturn, or are we witnessing the slow fall of a Vegas icon? To understand what's happening at the Strat, we have to look at the numbers, because the data tells the story the headlines sometimes miss. In 2024, Golden Entertainment, the company that owns the Strat, reported around $661 million in revenue from continuing operations. That might sound like a solid figure on paper, but it represents a 4% drop from the previous year. When you factor in the impact of assets that were sold off, the decline is even more dramatic, close to 37% lower than 2023. The fourth quarter of 2024 was particularly brutal. Revenue fell nearly 30%, barely crossing $164 million. These aren't isolated dips. This is the fifth consecutive year of declining revenue, and it's turning the Strat into one of the most consistently underperforming major properties on the Strip. Occupancy rates tell an equally troubling story. Weekends at the Strat remain relatively strong, hovering around 95%, but the midweek numbers are where the alarm bells ring. In June 2025, midweek occupancy sank to roughly 60%, down from 76% during the same period in 2024. In Las Vegas, midweek bookings are crucial, they are the backbone that keeps operations profitable. A sharp drop in this metric signals that something deeper is affecting demand. It's not just about rooms being empty, it's about a property losing relevance in a city where every tower, every attraction, and every show competes for attention. So why exactly is the Strat struggling while other Las Vegas properties thrive? The first factor is location. The Strat sits at the far north end of the Strip, a full mile away from the epicenter of action. It's not surrounded by the foot traffic, mega resorts, or high-end attractions that drive spontaneous visits. In a city built on serendipity and spectacle, being off the beaten path is a serious disadvantage. Visitors don't stumble upon the Strat, they have to make a deliberate trip, and in 2025, many aren't willing to take that extra mile. Competition is the second factor. Las Vegas has changed drastically over the last 5 years. Properties like the Sphere, Resorts World, and the newly reopened Fontainebleau have redefined what it means to visit the Strip. These aren't just hotels, they are immersive entertainment ecosystems offering high-tech experiences, headline shows, and social media-worthy attractions. The Strat, by contrast, hasn't seen a major upgrade in over a decade. No signature restaurants, no cutting-edge attractions, and certainly no tech-driven experiences that can compete with newer destinations. Its brand has become undefined, its image faded, and in a city obsessed with novelty, that can be fatal. The third factor is the customer base. Traditionally, the Strat targeted budget-conscious travelers. Affordable rooms, accessible gaming, and a no-frills experience defined its identity. But the Vegas audience of 2025 has evolved. Even budget travelers are now seeking more tech, more entertainment, more curated experiences. Without those elements, the Strat becomes just another tower with slot machines. In a city packed with competitors offering immersive shows and luxury packages, that's not enough to draw crowds. Finally, lack of reinvestment has become a glaring issue. While competitors have spent hundreds of millions reinventing themselves, Golden Entertainment has remained conservative, avoiding major redesigns or marketing campaigns. Las Vegas thrives on momentum and spectacle. Standing still is the same as falling behind. And after 5 consecutive years of revenue decline, the Strat is beginning to look like a relic, a monument to past ambition rather than a forward-looking destination. The story of the Strat is not happening in isolation. Las Vegas as a whole is under pressure. Tourism is slowing citywide. Early 2025 figures show nearly 2 million fewer visitors compared to the first half of 2024. Overall hotel occupancy in June dropped to around 66%, a staggering 15% decline from the previous year. Revenue per available room, a key profitability metric, fell almost 29%, landing just over $100 per night. Even mid-tier properties like Ohio, Sahara, and Circus Circus are feeling the squeeze, losing market share to high-end resorts with deeper pockets and flashier offerings. The city is shifting. Travelers no longer settle for basic accommodations and slot machines, they want immersive entertainment, curated experiences, and social media-ready environments. The financial pressures of inflation, rising wages, and operational costs only add to the challenge, and properties without bold reinvestment strategies are quickly falling behind. So what does the future hold for the Strat? Shutdown, sell-off, or survival? While there is no public declaration of closure or bankruptcy, Golden Entertainment has reportedly explored sale-leaseback strategies. In these deals, a property is sold and then leased back to continue operations. This can provide short-term liquidity but is often a sign of financial caution, preparing for potential stress. Combined with 5 years of falling revenue, shrinking midweek occupancy, and no major investment announcements, the Strat is standing still while the rest of the Strip accelerates. History offers cautionary tales. Once iconic Vegas properties have disappeared or been transformed, the Riviera is gone, the Hard Rock reshaped, the Moulin Rouge erased from the skyline. Could the Strat be next? Whispers of foreign investors and redevelopment potential are growing. Some see value in its height, history, and brand, others see opportunity for a complete reset. A sale may not be a question of if, but when. The Strat's struggle is more than a single hotel story. It's a symbol of a city that rewards boldness and punishes stagnation. Las Vegas thrives on reinvention, spectacle, and momentum. A tower that stops evolving, no matter how iconic, risks being left behind. 2025 could be the year the Strat either finds a bold new future or quietly fades into history. The Strat isn't just a hotel, it's a warning. Even the tallest towers can fall if they stop evolving. In a hyper-competitive, experience-driven city, nostalgia alone isn't enough. The coming months will be critical. Will a new investor step in to breathe life back into this fading landmark, or will the Strat quietly exit the skyline, another relic of a Las Vegas that no longer exists? Whatever happens, the story of the Strat is a story of a city in transition, a city that demands audacity, vision, and constant reinvention. And in 2025, the Strat may be the first major casualty of this new era.